call the meeting to order. Today is Thursday, August 13th. This is the regular city council meeting. First item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a prayer by Councilman Watson. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Father in heaven, we thank you, O God, for this another day. We thank you for this hour and this opportunity to come together and come out, Lord God, to do our city's business. Father, you are our God, you are our Lord, and we invite you in all that we do. So we ask your presence over this meeting here tonight. We pray, as always, that you will guide our thoughts, guide our ways, guide our actions, even guide our conduct, Lord God. And we just pray that you would give us the solution to all of our problems, oh God. Your word told us that we could cast our cares on you because you care for us. So everything that we might struggle with, Lord God, even that we don't struggle with, God, we just cast it on you, God. And we just pray that you would guide our thoughts and our ways, Lord God, that it might be pleasing, first of all, to you and then to those persons that we represent. Again, we thank you for this day. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Everybody else is in? Council, I have a question for you all. I kind of like the way, on number 2, when we do the Pledge of Allegiance and prayer, would you all mind if we did prayer first and then the pledge, God before country? Does anybody have any issues with that? Okay, we'll change that. Okay, Jerome, can we have a roll call, please?
Fountain,
Present.
Morris,
Present.
Watson, here. Jackson,
Present.
Well,
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. We will get started with our very lengthy agenda, but the council and the attorney have done a lot of work, so we're gonna be okay. Number 4 is discussion of public comments on the agenda and general public comments. How we've had that set up in the past is we provide an opportunity for either the council or anyone in the audience to make any comments on the agenda. And then towards the end of the agenda, we have general comments. So I did get an inquiry about how we handle comments and such. And so I just wanted to provide the council an opportunity to say how you all would like to handle that. I'll start with District 1.
The evening public comment.
Right. So it's just discussion. I had an inquiry about public comments on the agenda and then general public comments. And so, we've been doing it.
I do, I believe that we can not do public comments at the end, like we did them at the beginning.
Okay, it's just a discussion, so, District 2.
Yes, went to the public jury meeting Monday, and it mirrors our board meeting, in Baton Rouge and Southern, where you request for an item on the thing, once it's published, the public got a right to view anything they want to have discussion on, they just fill out things and have opportunities to speak their concerns on the item at the beginning of the meeting, but that takes from when the discussion, the action part of the council, when we go amongst each other, or like us coming to action what we were discussing versus constant responding with public.
So you're saying,
In the beginning, and
just to make sure you're clear, I'm clear.
yeah.
You're saying action items or items on the agenda that for you would like to see all of that done at the beginning and then still have general comments, like if somebody wanted to say something that wasn't on the agenda.
Just like it always is.
So everything at the beginning.
And they specify, whatever they want to, they just identify and then y'all address them based on,
District 3?
Public comments at the beginning. That's it.
District 4?
At the beginning, that way we'll have a feel of what we're concerned with, and then you can base our decisions on some of their thoughts. So at the beginning,
District 5?
Well, first of all, we gotta look at what the law states. The law states that before any item can be voted upon, there has to be a lot of time for public comment. And so if we're gonna vote on an item on the agenda, the law states that you have to give the public an opportunity to speak before a vote is given. So if you're gonna have, the only way you can do what you guys are suggesting is that you have no item to vote on. If we have an item to vote on, then the public has to have an opportunity to speak before any item can be voted on, because it's the public's meeting. And so we're gonna vote on an item, then the individuals in the public, by law, has the right to speak on that item before a vote is cast.
Understood. So,
And let me say this, yeah, especially like, our public hearing on matters.
No,
You know, yeah, that,
it said any item that you have on your agenda that is to be voted on, not just a public hearing, like for instance, when it says, approval of ordinance or something like that, introduction of ordinance, selection of engineering firms. Anytime you're gonna do anything that the council can motion, second, and vote on, the public has a right by law to comment on every item that you have on your agenda.
and if I'm understanding the rest of the council correctly, they believe that by making their comments under number 4, that is what they're doing. They're having an opportunity to provide comments prior to a vote. Just asking.
I can speak for myself, like to what I said again. And I think it falls clearly within the law, because we give them opportunity to be specific what they want to speak on. It wasn't depriving anyone. It simply said, identify what you would like to speak on, and bring some kind of organization on dealing with that. They didn't say you couldn't choose, you just identify what you want to, like when we publish the agenda, when we notify, they notified us, because it's posted. It's not taking nothing from anyone. So that's all I want to play. They returned it and comment on. But everybody has to be, they had opportunity.
But
They're not limited to what they couldn't.
But legally, they have a right to speak on every item that's on the agenda.
So saying that, they're saying that they can't.
What I'm saying is before a vote is taken, most times, this is me personally saying, I think as it being a community meeting, a public meeting, then we should allow community input. Even if it's done at the beginning, because when we discuss it, what if there's no discussion had by us? If no one asks a question, then the item gets voted on without having a discussion. And I understand that our time schedules are funny, but we gotta allow ourselves to be in public service. And we should not say, well, say something at the beginning, and once the meeting starts, you can't say anything else. That's not fair to the constituents that actually voted for us.
Antonio Wilson. I'm asking the attorney to read the law, and if we can't figure out how this process is supposed to work, according to the Lorison Act, we need to get an opinion from the Attorney General. And I think it's clear, because I've read several opinions from the Attorney General that require.
Go ahead, sir.
You telling her no?
Go ahead, sir.
Are you directing the attorney?
Mr. Wilson, sir, please go ahead with your
Okay.
comments, sir.
So there are several Attorney General opinions that states on each agenda item, you have to allow the allotted time for individuals to speak. And that time can be set by council, which you guys have already set in previous ordinance, the 3-minute rule. So we can't get into these special groups and conspire against the people how we're going to speak. This is a citizens meeting, not the council and the mayor's meeting. So please don't demise the people from speaking, because each of you were elected by the people to serve the people. So let's not get that misunderstood. Regardless of what your opinion may be or how you want to hear an individual, we can't keep doing it the same way. And we definitely can't change the rules according to the law.
Okay.
May I speak?
Here's what I'm gonna say. This was actually just discussion. So what I am going to do is ask the attorney to look into the law, not tonight. Take your time to research this. Then when we come back, we'll have the law on our side. And then if you all want to take some sort of vote or action, then you can do that. Did you?
I still want to speak.
Okay.
It's a lifelong citizen here in Tallulah. In the past years, I've never attended council meetings because more so like a show. And I do stand by everything I say. It's like today, the office of the mayor of the city of Tallulah, regular council meeting agenda. So it's a regular council meeting where council members take part, take care of business of the city. And when you make comments, when you make accusations, when you talk about special groups conspiring to do something against the public, I don't like misleading comments. I'm straight down the middle when I say something. And if my speech, I made my voice, I made my tone, then be clear, it never not one time said anything about someone couldn't speak about an agenda item. It's about being in order, doing it at a time to do it. Because we are advertising, we are auditioning for someone to come help us and for us to move this town forward and not for no shows. So nothing was taken up from nobody. I hope that saying address your concern in the meeting, in the beginning, whatever you want to. It didn't say a certain item, it said whatever item on the agenda, you identify what you want to speak on, you'll be adhered to that. So that's the point I'm saying. Why do we always have to be where we're going on and on and on about something that wasn't a negative attack, it wasn't taken up from nobody, it just set an order how we need to do business, where people start taking us serious.
Okay, so as I said, this was a discussion. The attorney will look into it. We'll have the law and we will, I'm sorry. Oh, no. Ooh. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
Can I speak?
Absolutely, come on.
Andre Darby, for those who don't know. To piggyback off of what Mr. Wilson said, we voted for y'all. My council person didn't come to the community and ask me to work. He ain't got my opinion on nothing since he been in office. So, this is my platform to come forward to ask questions, to make comments. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to be able to stay in a city where I can drink the water that I don't have to worry about taking a shower and having my skin get exfoliated every single time. So if y'all don't like having public comments, that's up. If y'all put it on the agenda, we gonna comment. If you put it on the agenda for us to have public comments, I'm gonna make comments. I got a list of comments and questions I can ask now. They valid questions based on my experience. I'm not trying to cause no confrontation, but if this stuff's been going on forever, I don't care whether you just got here a month ago, 6 weeks ago, or whether it's your second term. Something needs to be done, and if it can't be done, there's a certain thing called a recall. It can be put forth, and folks can be removed. So just because you're elected in this position to be the council person, you also represent a district, an area, which is made up of people. And if you don't represent those people, you can easily resign, go back to your day job, or take up a hobby. Point blank, period. That goes for everyone up here. From the attorney to District 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you need point blank.
Okay, I got one thing to say, because maybe I'm not, maybe y'all not understanding, nothing negative to anybody. Never said you can't comment on anything. We're just saying in the beginning, according to whatever item you wanna speak on, but at the same time, we gotta come down to discuss it right. Get it clear, made clear. And then vote. We never said you couldn't discuss on anything, say nothing on nothing. That's not what we're saying. Now, you was gonna say something? You go ahead. Yes.
Y'all wanna do it at the beginning, what if somebody come in late and y'all already did it or addressed it? Or they may not have the understanding until y'all discuss it, and then they wanna ask questions in reference of it. Because if we ask questions or address everything on the agenda now at the beginning, then so many ways we out of order, cause we done got off the agenda.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna move on to, number 5, approval of the minutes of the July 23rd, 2026 regular meeting. Do we have any corrections, additions, deletions? There are no comments. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the July 23rd, 2026 regular meeting?
So moved.
Second. I have a proper motion by Mr. Watson, proper second by Ms. Jackson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we'll move on to the minutes of the July 30th, 2026 special meeting.
Well, on the first page, if you go down to, the 6th paragraph, you have Mayor Pro Tem Watson asked if there were any comments.
Anybody have anything else? Okay, if not, is there a motion to approve the minutes of the July 30th, 2026 special meeting?
So moved with that correction.
Proper motion, is there a second? Proper motion by Mr. Watson, second by Ms. Jackson, with the correction on the first page. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, this time, we need a motion to enter into our public hearing.
I make a motion to move to a public hearing to discuss the ordinance establishing the procedures for making council place items on the agenda.
Give the second to Mr. Morris. All right. Okay, so we are in public hearing now. We are discussing an ordinance establishing procedures for members of the city council to place items on the agenda for regular meetings of the city council, providing for compliance with the Larson Act and the Louisiana Open Meetings Law, providing for the orderly conduct of municipal legislative business, and providing for related matters. So this ordinance was drafted and brought to the table by Councilman Wells. It lays out the necessary steps that any of the council members would have to go through in order to put items on the agenda. The attorney has reviewed it. Everyone has had an opportunity to see her revisions. Councilman Wells has agreed with her revisions. And at this time, I'll start with District 1. Do you have any comments?
No.
Okay, District 2.
No comment.
All right, District 3.
No.
Okay, District 4. District 5.
Yes.
Okay.
And my reason for this ordinance is, to try to bring, like we talked about earlier, order to how things are conducted And if there's council members that may wanna have items on the agenda, you know, in the past, if that item was not comfortable with by the mayor's office, it was not placed on the agenda unless you had to have a unanimous vote on the council to add an item to the agenda, which very seldom happened in the previous term. So I said that what we do, starting off, is try to bring some order to how meetings are gonna be conducted. So I wanted to introduce this ordinance or propose one so that any council member can add an item to the agenda to be discussed as a legislative matter, because the law does provide us that opportunity to do that as a legislative body.
Okay, do we have any comments from the audience? Okay, I do have one question, Attorney, on section 4, number D. It says nothing contained herein shall require the mayor or any municipal employee to prepare ordinances, resolutions, contracts, agreements, or other legislative documents on behalf of the individual council member. So the way I read that is that whichever council member brings the item to the floor, that they would draft or work with you to draft that particular item. So can a council member draft a contract?
An actual contract?
That was my only question. Okay. Okay, so they would bring the information to you and then you would draft the contract?
Yes, and we discuss this in there.
Okay. Are there any comments from the audience? Okay, can we, gonna go ahead and adjourn the public hearing and re-enter regular session. Is there a motion?
So move.
Proper motion by Mr. Wells, second by Mr. Morris. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so now we are down to approving the ordinance that we just spoke of. I'll read it again. Approve an ordinance establishing procedures for the members of the city council to place items on the agenda for regular meetings of the city council, providing for compliance with the Lawson Act and Louisiana Open Meetings Law, providing for the orderly conduct of municipal legislative business, and providing for related matters. Is there a motion to approve this ordinance? Okay, we have a proper motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a proper second. Gerald, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Mountain,
Yay.
Morris,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Wells,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay.
Madam Mayor, I want to make sure that, the number 8, that we got a roll call to make sure that it was unanimous.
We were only adjourning the public hearing. That's all we were doing. So I asked all in favor. Everyone said yes, no one said no, so we adjourned it. And I did ask for.
Because we always get a, roll call.
Okay, number 10 is set a public hearing date for an ordinance authorizing the mayor to seek a buyer and to sell immovable property, real property, and all improvements thereon to promote economic development and cultural history located at 701 East Spring Street, Tallulah, Louisiana, described as Lot 71 of the subdivision of the original town of Tallulah, Louisiana, situated in Madison Parish, Louisiana, together with all rights, improvements, and appurtenances thereto belonging or appertaining, and in parentheses, we are discussing the Coca-Cola building. So, we have already introduced this ordinance. There was a public hearing. That public hearing was not held. So we are at a time, if you all would like to set a public hearing for this particular ordinance, it'll go just like the last one did. We set the date, it runs in the paper, we come back, you all have an opportunity to discuss it, the public has an opportunity to offer their comments, and we go from there.
How many times do they have to run in the paper?
We usually run it twice.
So this is the first.
It hasn't even run yet.
No, this is the first meeting for August.
So
So if we,
run it on. So we run on, what's next Thursday? And then the Thursday after that is the 27th, so that would be 2 times running in the paper. Of course, we put it on our website.
Just set it for the first meeting in September.
September 10th?
So, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
We had already introduced this and set a public hearing date on it, and it wasn't held. So did it have to be reintroduced?
No, the ordinance has already been properly introduced. We just have to have a public hearing on it now. Okay, so September 10th. Okay, so we will be setting a public hearing on that particular ordinance for September 10th. It will run in the paper, we'll have it on our website. And again, everybody will have the opportunity to attend the public hearing.
On this, I just have one question, I guess it's for attorney. For saying buyer should have verification of line of credit for $250,000.
I hear you, Councilwoman.
Oh, I was just asking about the line of credit, if the person buys. That's kind of like, yeah.
Is it legal to set an amount?
I mean, what I'm saying is, I may be able to purchase. It may not have $250,000, but down the line, it take me time to fix it. So it's almost like you, that's just my personal opinion, like you discriminating. You leave other. Yes. So just to say, you gotta have $250,000, that's you just paying for $250,000. But I was just wondering about that. I just thought that was.
Can't hear you, Council.
I'm talking because I'm talking.
Oh,
It's part of the meeting.
well.
Mr. Wilson, I'm gonna ask you not to speak out, okay?
You got
Mr. Wilson, I'm going to ask you not to speak out, sir, okay? Promise I'll recognize you, you raise your hand. Let me, share with Ms. Jackson, some of the, past discussion about this. So because the building, is a historic building that's gonna have to be rebuilt to historic measures, we put that in the ordinance to ensure that the person who purchases the property has the means to fix it back up accordingly to historic standards. So that was the discussion about that. I'm just telling you what the discussion was.
I know, you go ahead, Ms. Martin, then I'll say what I was gonna say.
So, where are we here? You, okay.
I mean, just because a person has a line of credit, don't mean they're gonna turn around and spend it, so, I mean, they can have it and then choose not to, so, what does that mean to do?
So,
Yeah, because my thing is, like I said, if you purchase, you know that comes with the registry anyway, they're gonna have to do it according to the registry, so just to say $250,000, they know it's gonna have a guideline with it, so I'm just saying for the, that amount on it, and they know they're gonna have to follow the rule for it's the historical thing, so I mean, just saying $250,000, and then it may take me 20 years, 40 years to do it, but, you know, as long as they follow the guideline, not, you know.
well, I think there's some information.
So is there a question, I'm just trying to understand, so is there a question as to the amount being that it's $250,000, was it the amount period?
Well,
The set of an amount.
To set an amount period?
yes,
Okay.
because, you know, it's just. That's my thing, is setting the amount, because it may take a little more than, you know, a little less, but just to say $250,000.
Yes, you wanna come forward?
I'm just gonna stand here, my eager.
Okay.
Question, $250,000 line of credit. What does the law say on that line of credit? Because what you're doing is, you're excluding certain people from their property if you set a $250,000 line of credit. So, probably wanna see what the law says on that, because you're disenfranchising people when you set that high of a limit. So you probably wanna see what the law says on it, Cause $250 for a $24,000-$30,000 building. And you looking at $250,000 line of credit, like they said, they may have a line of credit, but they might not use it all. So that's something you wanna look into before you take action on it.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, what's the desire of the council?
Just got a question,
Okay.
to the council. If you remove that whole part about the line of credit, any other concerns or issues about the,
So we know whoever purchased it has to follow the historical guidelines. But I just really, like I said, kind of look into that point about just putting a limit on saying $250,000. Like say, it's almost like, to me, that's my personal opinion, discrimination, because, majority of, that's not have $250,000 credit.
So I think Mr. Morris's question was if that line was stricken, are there any other changes that you want to see in
But
this?
the entire project or thing we're trying to do is to get the building sold so that it can be fixed. So is there anything that's in there or that we could put in there to guarantee that it's done? And what I'm getting at is to simply pay $29,000 for the building or whatever, and it never gets done. So now that's defeating our purpose and our downtown purpose. So, just discussion, concerning that, because that's the goal. That's the goal of everything.
And like maybe stipulations on the time frame, like if
Yeah.
you do purchase the building within a certain time, you should have it restored, or it can be
See, legally,
Let me say this, if we were to strike anything, we can make all the changes we want, because we don't have to reintroduce it. So whatever changes,
can I comment?
Go ahead, sir.
Legally, once you sell a property, you can't tell someone when they have to do something with it. So we gotta make sure that what we're doing in an attempt to make things better for downtown and the city of Tallulah, that we understand legally what we can do and can't do as a council. Because I can have $250,000 line item of credit and buy the building and still don't do nothing to it.
Yeah, that's
And there's nothing you can do to me if I don't, because it's my property. So we have to be mindful of what we're doing. And the same concerns you all brought up is what we brought up at the last council, and we're at the same place. So we gotta really look at what we're really trying to do. If we're gonna get the building sold, let's get it sold, but make sure we don't exclude people from being able to purchase it.
So, Attorney, under the visionary interest, where it talks about should the purchaser fail to procure within the time allowed, is there anything? I think everybody wants to see something done. Okay, it looks like we may be striking the $250,000 fine. Ms. Stamper said, can we put something in there developed within a certain amount of time?
I do think that there's something that we can do. I think that there are some, clauses that you can input. I understand what you're saying about when somebody buys something, but this was the intent of the ordinance. So I do think that there is something that we can put in there, some clause, I mean, to make sure it's a good sound, to protect the intent of the councils and, behind the ordinance and why it's being sold.
So, a couple different things. Go ahead, Mr. Morris.
That is legal to do. You can do a versionary clause.
okay, going back to what Councilman Wells said, and what I was gonna say, even prior to that, I can use self. I mean, I purchased property on the front street. So let's take the one on the east end. So it really looked horrible, but I spent $24,000 on the roof, and then other money's gutting it out, so it didn't look like it was. But for you to tell me how long the wind is not, nothing that's suitable, I put my money to invest to help downtown, because as the property owner, still, I've got concern in one thing for the city to do, to beautify the area as well as me being as a property owner, just put money. Then you go to the other end, say, oh, tax bill, where the roof was falling in. I spend money tearing the whole roof out, straightening and cleaning it up. So there's processes people are doing it, but it's still better than look all run down like it was prior. But tell me a $250,000 or whatever, still don't ever go do it at that time, but just trust that people investing that money, that they have an intent and goal to make it look better. And so we'll be discouraging people to get the other property. I want all of them property. But if you're doing that, you're gonna discourage other people to, buy. So I just think that's just more of a bad than a good, but I understand the intent that we want downtown to be better, but it's how we go about it. It makes it better.
So are you, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
Based upon the concerns of the council, I make a motion that we table this item.
A second.
Okay, so while we're tabling, are there items, let's go ahead and figure out what we
Finish our
wanna do.
discussion.
Yeah, I mean, and figure out what we wanna do. If we want to take out the $250,000 and we don't want to say, we have a time.
Second on the
Okay,
floor.
hold on just 1 second, sir. Just 1 second. Just like we said, after a motion and a second, everybody has an opportunity to speak. That includes me. Thank you. Okay? Let's go ahead and, yeah, okay,
You have to first acknowledge the motion and second,
okay.
because you have done it.
I thank you, Councilman Wells. Okay. What I'm saying, you guys, is we keep pushing this along. What do you guys want to do?
We made a motion to table the item, and it's been properly
Okay,
motion and
we have a
second.
motion and there is a second. Now, I'm asking, and during my discussion, okay, while we're tabling this, what are we tabling it for?
To discuss it further.
Okay, we're not gonna do anything, we're gonna bring it back on the agenda and discuss what?
And in the meantime, we discuss the revisions that need to be made to the
That's
ordinance.
what I'm asking. What are the revisions that we want the attorney to look at?
We have to discuss that in another,
We'll discuss
another
that.
time. It's
So-
over time, so we came here for the thing this year, but we not, so we have to figure out what direction we want to take. But we do want to build a show, we need to have what direction, what thing, the way we want to go about doing it. We don't have that tonight, so.
Okay, all right. So there, a motion by Mr. Wells to table this item. Who is the second?
Small.
Mr. Morris, okay. Drew, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Elton,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Wells,
Yes.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the fixing of the compensation for the city attorney. She has asked that this item be moved to the end of the, agenda. She would like to actually not be here while this is happening, if that is all right with you all.
So moved.
Second.
Can we move it?
Okay, roll call vote, please, Gerald.
Fountain,
Here. Yes.
Thank you, Mayor.
Morris,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Wells,
Yes.
Okay, next item is introduction of an ordinance fixing the compensation of the mayor's court magistrate of the city of Tallulah, a Larson Act community. The, drafted an ordinance, the attorney has taken a look at it, she has offered her comments on it. The comments have been, afforded to the council for their review. So at this time, are there any further comments or any changes or anything that, from the council for this particular ordinance? What this is it would be for our, mayor's court. It will be setting the compensation for whoever the magistrate is. whoever would be acting as a judge for the mayor's court.
Well, I just think that we need to add
Did I miss it?
add a figure to it. You want to introduce an ordinance without a figure associated with it. I think that we have a dollar amount associated with it before we introduce it.
Right, so there is, the opportunity right now in this ordinance to insert a dollar amount. We have missed, court this month, and if we want to, the salary for the magistrate has to be set by ordinance, okay? So that means it's gonna have to run in the paper a couple of times, so there's some, time that has to go with that. So we have, skipped over court for this month. We would have court again the second Thursday in the next month, except in September. So, do you guys have a price in mind?
What is the standard? What was the last figures that we worked with?
It's been all over the place. So, Mr. Bishop did it forever and forever and ever for $200, okay? And then, some of the more recent magistrates have, charged an hourly fee, $250. It's starting to get, pretty expensive. However, Judge Lancaster came, sat in for us, and did it for $1,000. So, I think the intent, if I remember the conversation, was to set an amount which the budget committee would put into the budget, so that when we go out and start talking to people, we have an amount that we can say, hey, listen, this is how much this is. You can't really go talk to a judge or anyone and say, hey, we'd like you to be the court magistrate. And when they say, okay, well, how much is it? And they're like, we don't have an amount. So we probably need to come up with an amount. Well, you all need to come up with an amount.
And that is, that price, those figures that you gave out, that's per court session?
No. The prior magistrate would tally up her hours for the entire month and then provide an invoice for that. Judge Lancaster did it for us as a favor. He just said, hey, I'm just gonna do it for $500 a time, twice a month, $1,000 a month.
So court is twice a month?
Twice a month. Okay, well, you guys are, Mr. Wilson?
Yes. This is just my suggestion, because the city, we definitely hadn't gotten our budget approved yet. So to my understanding in the Larson Act, the mayor has the right to sit in as the magistrate. And that will save a lot of tax dollars on behalf of the citizens. So I think that would be a great ideal to hand those duties over to the mayor and let her, get that job done. I mean, if it's just an hour at a time, I mean, I've been surveying some things, and I think that it's appropriate to hand her that duty, and that's going to save us some money there as well.
Would it, because for example, I don't go to court, so I really wouldn't know about this, but would it have anything to do with the magistrate's qualifications, you say, as compared to a former judge, to a lawyer, or?
So typically, the position is an attorney, because they have some legal background, okay? You're dealing with people's lives and those sorts of things. Quite frankly, I don't have that background, so, Mr. Wilson?
And to respond to Ms. Wilson said that the fact that actually discouraged mayors from actually holding that position because they have the authority to set fines.
Right.
And then they don't want the mayor to be serving as a magistrate, set fines like as a revenue source. So the legislature is really getting away from mayors actually serving the capacity. That's why they moved from mayor's court to magistrate court. I asked the same question. And then when you read the guidelines, it said it pretty much discourages mayors from doing it because they end up opening them up to a thing where they're just doing it to generate money. And so that's why they bring in an outside person to sit in that seat. And it protects the mayor so she won't be considered as doing this for money.
And you're dealing with people's lives, you know, I mean, it may be small things, but it's still, you know, their lives, so you want them to have, you know, the best experience in court with proper individuals. Yes, sir.
Yes, with that being said, I just, somewhere between 12 at the low end, 15 under the high end, in which the court itself going to take care of that, and plus the person has to be a lawyer, so you're talking about a lawyer. And so I just recommend between 12 and 15, with the suggestion of the other council.
Right, and I'll tell you guys that, I did talk with, Judge, Lancaster, and, you know, he did not make it seem as if it was a lot of time. So, I mean, that range sounds appropriate.
And he was under that range, right? About
1,000. So, yes, ma'am.
And reference of that, what if court has been canceled or have to be dismissed, would they still get that full pay for that month, for 2 sections?
Yes.
So, yeah, they would. So, because it's set by ordinance. But we have not canceled court for any reason in a very, very long time. The only reason that we didn't have it this time is we didn't have a magistrate in place, and Judge Lancaster was only doing up until July. So, we have a range of, I'm sorry, you said 1,250 to
1,500.
1,500. Would anyone like to offer a motion for a specific amount in that range?
I make a motion that we set the salary range at $12.50 per month.
Second.
We have a proper motion by Mr. Wells and a second by Mr. Morris to set the compensation for the mayor's court magistrate at $1,250 a month. Cheryl, can we have okay, so hold on just a second. We've got a couple of things we're doing here. Okay, so what we're going to do first is take a vote on setting that, and then we're going to need a motion to introduce the ordinance. Okay. So right now we are voting on setting the compensation at $1,250 a month.
So moved.
Okay, we have a proper motion and second. Gerald, we're doing a roll call vote now.
Fountain,
Yeah.
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Wells,
Wells, yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Wells,
Yes.
Okay, so that vote was to set the compensation at $1,250 a month. Now, is there a motion to introduce this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a proper motion and second by Mr. Wells and Ms. Jackson. Gerald, can we have another roll call vote, please?
Fountain,
Yeah.
Morris,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Wells.
Yes.
Okay, all right, next item on the agenda is introduction of an ordinance fixing the compensation of the mayor's court bailiff of the city of Tallulah, a Larson Act municipality. If you use a bailiff in your mayor's court, their compensation needs to be set by ordinance. What we have, given to the attorney to look at, and she has given her, thoughts on this particular ordinance, is to use a on-duty Tallulah Police Department person, whoever's on duty that day, They will not be paid any additional compensation. It will be just a part of their, that day's duties. Because it will, it'll probably rotate. It's probably not gonna be the same person. The attorney has taken a look at this, and, I think we are at a point where we could take a motion to introduce this ordinance. Are there any comments? Yes, sir.
Yes, staff, police department. I don't know how many officers on duty at a time. I'm thinking maybe 2.
We have 3 during the day for court to be covered. We make sure that's up for the court, for the bailiff and clerk as well.
And so I also spoke with the sheriff, because there's some training that the bailiff has to take. They have that training through the sheriff's office, really how to run the courtroom and all that. And so they will be able to take advantage of that. Are there any comments from the audience? If not, I'll entertain a motion to introduce the ordinance fixing the compensation of mayor's court bailiff for the city of Tallulah, a Larson Act municipality.
So move.
Okay, we have a proper motion
Second.
and proper second. Gerald, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Fountain,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Wells,
Yes.
Okay, we have a few more ordinances that we're gonna be introducing. This next one is fixing the.
Skip number 11. Skip number 11.
I'm not gonna say I skip number 11. Okay. That would go back to, yeah. Okay, so, I'm sorry, I skipped number 11. Discussion and/or introduction of an ordinance requiring the mayor to cause the preparation of a monthly bills for payment report to be presented at each regular city council meeting held on the 4th Thursday of each month, providing for advanced delivery to the city council, providing for transparency, public disclosure, implementation, severability, repeal, and related matters. Council, Mr. Wells put together a draft ordinance. The attorney has taken a look at that ordinance, provided her thoughts on that. Mr. Wells has agreed with the changes and everything that, and additions that the, I know, right? That the attorney put towards this particular ordinance. And Mr. Wells, since this is yours, I'll let you tell everyone why you would like this ordinance.
Well, the reason why I wanted that ordinance is by us being, by the council being fiscally responsible for the affairs of the city. It's kind of impossible to do that without having a monthly reconciliation of those finances, the expenditures, the revenues that are coming in, and like I said, money that's going out. So in order to track our monthly revenue to see where we are going throughout the fiscal year, we need to be able to see those financials on a consistent basis with those invoices being presented to us. So we have a clear picture of where we're going and what changes if any need to be made to make sure we stay on the right track.
Okay, and so just so everyone knows, I'm just gonna read section 3, which is the report contents. To the extent reasonably available and maintained in the ordinary course of municipal business, the monthly bills for payment report shall include vendor or payee, invoice number, invoice date, description of goods or services, department, fund, account number, where applicable, amount, due date, total monthly accounts payable, emergency expenditures, if any, and certification by the city clerk or any other municipal officer designated by the mayor. And this is for bills that have already been paid.
Previous month's bill.
Right. So, are there any comments from any of the other council members?
Yes. Councilman Wade, on the third proposed ordinance, look at number 2, just make sure we not
Yeah,
overlapping, I'm not saying the same thing.
I think a lot of it is the same.
I'm not sure, just say one. number 2, that's all.
Okay. A couple of them may be, the same.
But the couple next week, just do away with
Yeah,
one.
they're the same, so we're gonna eliminate that one in minds of this.
Oh, yeah, we can take it as is, then the other one,
Yeah.
yeah, we continue to make change because of the next one.
Right.
Okay, do we have any comments from the audience? Okay, any more comments from the council? Okay, this time I will,
Excuse me, what's in number 14? For the court bailiff still, or had you moved on?
we did that, yes ma'am, already.
Oh, I thought that was, you said the policeman do a bailiff in the absence of an actual bailiff, appointed bailiff, and do it the same cost. Same pay.
I'm sorry, I really can't hear you. The bailiff for mayor's court, we'll be using one of the Tallulah Police Department officers.
Every time.
Yes ma'am. Thank you. Okay, at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to introduce the ordinance requiring the mayor to cause the preparation of a monthly bills for payment report to be presented at each regular city council meeting held on the fourth Thursday of each month, providing for advanced delivery to the city council, providing for transparency, public disclosure, implementation, severability, repeal, and related matters.
So moved.
Okay, we have a proper motion, is there a second? Proper motion by Mr. Watson, proper motion by Mr. Morris, and a second by Mr. Watson. Gerald, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Will,
Yes.
We're all good there? All right, we are down to number 15, introduction of an ordinance fixing the compensation of the mayor's court clerk of the city of Tallulah, a Larson Act community. Miss Alicia Robinson has been serving as the mayor's court clerk for a number of years now. I've spoken with her. She has no problem continuing to serve in that capacity. This will be the same as the bailiff. It will be a part of her duties that day, so there'll be no additional compensation. Are there any questions from the council? Comments from the audience? Okay, if not, I will entertain a motion to introduce the ordinance fixing the compensation of the mayor's court clerk of the city of Tallulah, a Larson Act municipality. Okay, we have a proper motion by Ms. Jackson, is there a second? By Mr. Wells, Gerald, roll call vote, please.
Al,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Wells,
Yes.
Okay, so the next three ordinances that we would like to introduce, they were brought to the table by Councilman Morris. The first one is establishing a budget stabilization reserve policy. The next one is establishing a budget stabilization reserve fund. And the third is introduction of an ordinance requiring monthly financial reporting to the city council. And we'll vote on them separately, but Mr. Morris will give you the chance to say what the three are about and how they can help us.
Okay, that's pretty much to sum it up. We just want to establish a transparency and a standard how we do when it comes to budgeting, whereas user friendly for councilmen, because our main focus is to have oversight of the budget and all things pertaining to the budget. And so we basically had no format that we just can come walk in and just really just help us make wise decisions. And also help the mayor and the city and the staff even when it comes to auditing purposes, you know. So everything is geared towards making Tallulah better, making it sound, and giving confidence to you also as we see stuff in place you can follow as well. And you know, it won't be like, I'm not saying about this stuff in secret, but it just, people be informed. And people, like I said, can feel confident. Because that's important to us, because we want to have your confidence as we move forward with the challenges of things that are going to require money. And nobody want to support money and increasing things that pertains to money, there's no transparency, no trust. So just taking my experience and creating those ordinance to help us manage and do our jobs effectively and make the citizens appreciate that.
Okay, so we'll go one by one. Introduction of an ordinance establishing a budget stabilization reserve policy. Are there any questions or comments from the council? No? From the audience? Okay, then I'll entertain a motion to introduce an ordinance establishing a budget stabilization reserve policy.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a proper motion and second by Mr. Wells and Ms. Jackson. Drew, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Mountain,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Wells,
Yes.
Okay, next is introduction of an ordinance establishing a budget stabilization reserve fund. Motion,
So moved.
we have proper motion, is there a second?
Second.
Proper motion and second by Ms. Jackson and Ms. Fountain. Gerald, another roll call vote, please.
Mountain,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Wells,
Yes.
Okay, and lastly, introduction of an ordinance requiring monthly financial reporting to the city council.
So moved.
Second.
Proper motion by Ms. Jackson and second by Mr. Wells. And if you guys heard the conversation, Mr. Morris was just asking, it was, to make sure that there was no overlap in the things that'll be on the monthly bills for show and this particular ordinance. Is that correct, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we have a proper motion and a second to introduce this ordinance. Drew, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Mountain,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Wells,
Yes.
Okay, folks, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have introduced 8 ordinances. What will happen is the title of those ordinances will run in the paper for 2 weeks. After the approval, the entire thing will run. What dates do we want to set public hearings for this? Do we want to go with that September, the first meeting in September?
Yes, ma'am.
Or did y'all wanna go with the last meeting of this one? I think that would give two runs in the paper.
Yep.
So. I can't figure out how to get it back to the top. So it will run next Thursday, Terrell, again, will be the 20th and the 27th. Is that correct? Okay? Everybody okay with that? Oh, thank you, thank you. All right, so we'll be holding public hearings on all of those ordinances on August 27th. All right? And if you guys want to look at the ordinances, whatever, you can go to our website. If you scroll down, in the middle it says current agenda and accompanying documents. You can look through there and you can read all of them. Okay, next item on the agenda is approval of a contract for professional services between the City of Tallulah and Service Group Unlimited LLC for Beach Street improvements funded by the Delta Regional Authority. This is, we have been awarded a grant from DRA to do some work on Beach Street, which is the street in front of the community center from Darrow down to Harlem Street. McManus Engineers or Service Group brought this to us. They helped us out with the grant. I did speak with DRA over the last couple of days because when we brought this matter up before, Councilman Wells did have some issues with some previous work, previous grants that had been done by McManus. So my question to DRA was, number one, could Tallulah use any of the grant funding to hire our own inspector? Okay, yes, we can. Could Tallulah scrape McManus and just go with an engineer? Yes, we can. Could Tallulah go ahead and go with McManus, use their inspector? Yes, we can. And then we could also go with McManus, using their inspector and making sure our superintendent, is watching over it as well. So we have a plethora of options. They are open to you all, and you guys can let me know what you'd like to do. If you want, oh, I'm sorry, since you brought it.
My concern is the level of professionalism when it came to the job. You know, actually watching the project, making sure necessary corrections were made, and even when we did change orders, the change orders were 2 or 3 months behind, to where we end up having to bite the bullet on a lot of stuff, to where the companies actually default on their contract, and we never pursued the option that was available to us to recover losses. And so with all the work that Mr. McManus did for us previously, it was subpar. And it was like, take what we give you and that's it. Like they even left the job half done one time to start working on other projects. And I just think we need to go to another firm instead of McManus Engineering. I want to keep the grant but go to another engineering firm.
Okay, just so we're clear, when you say that they stopped the job and went to someone else, you're actually talking about the contractor.
Yes.
And not the engineer.
But the engineer was with them in an agreement with them. He had to sign off on the paperwork and then to the project.
I'm not.
So I just think we need to go to another engineer. That's my issue.
So, one other thing that I'd like for you all to take into consideration, and whatever decision you guys make, is what's going to be binding. Well, let's go with District 1. Oh, I was just going to say, if we choose to go with another engineer, okay, so the cost estimate that came in with this particular grant, which was submitted with the application, if another engineer comes in, looks at it and says it's going to cost them, might be a little bit more, might be a little less, either way. If it's more, then that's money that we're going to have to come up with. I'm not saying that's gonna happen, I'm just reiterating the information that I got from DR.
And can reject that one also, you know, we're not pleased with, bid when it comes, right?
So, I'm sorry, so once we select an engineer, we go out to bid, they bring in the bids and everything, we look at them, if, you know, if there's a reason to reject, you know, the bid, yeah, we definitely can do that.
This, project that, previous project that we're talking about, how long ago was that?
This is about, I said about 8 months, I said about 7, 8
Oh,
months.
within the last year?
Last year.
Okay, and so, of course, we were not here, so I'll speak for myself. I don't know what's going on with it, you know, and it's just what we're hearing now. But I would trust y'all judgment, because y'all dealt with them, and especially Mr. Only being the superintendent, did he have any type of oversight or?
Not in that project.
Not in that project.
He was speaking with Mr. Arthur.
I heard his name.
When he was speaking to him, he raised concerns on the project. On the question, he stated that when he raised the concern, Mr. McManus ignored his concern and just left the project like it was. So, that's my thing with it, is that he just didn't adhere to what was in the best interest of Tallulah. And when we went out to bid, every project came back over the amount that was allotted to us as a city, when we ended up having to pay additional funds for those projects that really put us in a bind the last couple of years.
Anybody else?
But what we are, what we're voting on now is just to approve,
No, we gotta make a choice.
oh, okay. Okay.
So if we do not want to go with this contract, then you all don't take any action on this. We let McManus know. Thank you, and we move forward.
I just think we move forward.
So can someone make a motion?
Motion.
Okay, so wait. Let's make a motion that we select another engineer for this particular project.
Yes.
Reject this engineering project. Reject the engineer.
That was a motion you made?
Yeah, I make a motion that we reject the professional services engineering contract with McManus.
Okay, we have a proper motion, is there a second? Motion by Mr. Wells, second by Mr. Morris. Gerald, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Fountain,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Wells.
Yes.
Okay, all right, next item on the agenda is selection of an engineering firm from the June 19, 2026 request for qualifications, and/or selection of an engineering firm for interviews from the June 19, 2026 RFQ. So we sent out an RFQ, which is a request for qualifications. We ran it in our paper here, we ran it in the Monroe paper, we ran it in the Jackson paper, we shared it with various chambers of commerce to have engineering firms send in their qualifications for a plethora of projects for the city. Water, roads, drainage, whatever the case may be. We ended up getting 6 submittals back. I gave all of these submittals to the council. I also gave them scoring sheets to score the submittals. I have not read them. I am not scoring. This will be a decision made by the council to select an engineer that we will work with going forward on future projects. So at this time, I think we have a couple different options. You guys can either tell what the scores are, select someone, or if you guys would like to narrow it down to 2 or 3 that you would like to interview, you can do that as well.
Before we get into discussion, I like to make a comment. Because I received a phone call on July 31st in regards to Mayor Lewis contacting one of the companies that are on this RFQ process. After they submitted a proposal in the event, I asked them to do it in the event that Magnolia decided to pull out of the city and cease their operations. And the company gave us information I presented. And on that Friday, I received a phone call that you had reached out to that company and told them that they was gonna be disqualified from the RFQ process.
No, I said they could be, but I went back and I checked, okay? And what they did was the information that they gave you, that you brought, that I didn't see, you didn't share that information with me. It's called an unsolicited proposal. So it is not illegal, but it's probably not the best thing to do. Because what's happened now is that particular company, if they're looking at doing something for our water or whatever, we were looking at an engineer to do X, Y, and Z. If you provided more information to one company, you didn't give the other ones the same opportunity. So that's what that was. I never said anybody was disqualified, and that's where we are. Yes, yes, sir.
According to the conversation.
I was in the conversation.
Can I finish? According to the conversation, because I actually had turned my phone off, I was at a water park with my son.
Okay.
And when I turned the phone back on, my phone started going off. And so I called the man that I had spoken to. I didn't speak with Wagner originally. I spoke with the guy that manages the water system, pretty large. And he brought Wagner into the equation, said that they operate all those kind of things, maintain plants. So that's how it came to the equation. So I said, because this all said that we didn't have a plant. So I said, in the event that Magnolia bags out, can your guys come in day to day and help the city out? Having a contingency plan in the event that happens, which we're gonna have to have one probably after tomorrow as well. Mm-hmm. So the young man sent me the information. I shared with the council. Because as a council, we would have to talk about what we're gonna do. So on that Friday, I spoke with the owner of the company and the individual that I was speaking to about coming in and operating the plant. He said that you went off on those people. And the man said he was very upset with what had happened. And said you called them and told them what were they doing, submitting a proposal, and that they were gonna be disqualified from consideration. And the guy's name is Ben Rauschenbach. Yes. And that is what he stated. And the individual that gave me the information, name is Sean Benton.
I did not tell anyone that they were gonna be disqualified. I did have a conversation with him. In my mind, okay, there really shouldn't have been any conversations with a company that we are looking at to be an engineer for us, with them getting more information than the rest of them did. However, I looked into it, I called. What they did was, they gave an unsolicited proposal to us, which is not illegal, and I never told anybody that they were gonna be disqualified.
I have spoken individually, and they have said, as a council, it's best for us to be proactive. There was nothing wrong about soliciting help in the event that something would go wrong. Now, would they actually start working? No, they could not, unless they have a conversation with you.
I think we're agreeing, I just said that.
So what I'm saying was, I reached out to them to see, I asked them, I said, man, if the plant shut, if they back out of the plant, could you have your guys over here work and keep the plant running? Because everybody said, if they leave, we got underwater. So I said, well, you guys, that would have happened, can you all come in day one to keep the plant operating? They said yes. That's how the conversation started. Was I didn't want us to get caught off guard. So according to Mr. Rossenbach, I may be pronouncing it wrong, I'm sorry if I am, Ben, I said Ben. He said the conversation was pretty harsh. And he said he's quite sure that they cannot be disqualified for submitting a proposal in the event of emergency. And I just want us to, what I would say is that we table it. And let us get look at this again to avoid a potential situation that can be detrimental to the city because of the conversation that took place on July 31st.
Okay, so they're not qualified, they're not disqualified.
They were told.
No, I'm telling you, I did not say that, okay? So, they've not gotten anything in writing from me saying that they have been
You called
disqualified.
them and said that they could, you just said, you told them they could be
I'm
disqualified.
telling you, I did, there we go.
Right.
There we go.
And that's
Okay,
what, but that's what the
completely
problem.
different thing than telling someone that they were disqualified.
It's not, man. That's where the problem comes in at to even, because that's not one of the criteria. That's the question everybody kept asking, I spoke to. What is the criteria for disqualification with the RFQ? And they said, if that's not one of the criteria for disqualification, then that can open the city up, because it was said to them, to a potential legal situation. So I would say make a motion to table this, to keep us in the right line. That's all I'm saying.
That's your motion, is there a second? Okay, we have a proper motion and second to table the selection of an engineering firm. Proper motion by Mr. Wells, second by Ms. Jackson. Girl, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Elton,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Wells.
Yes.
Okay, next item on the agenda is approval of hiring of police department personnel. I had put a email on the desk here when you all came in. The attorney sent that over today. I'm sure you guys have not had the opportunity to look all through it. It's rather lengthy. The situation is certification for police officers, if they are certified, if they are not, how much time they have. So there is some additional work that is going to have to go into this, and I've spoken with the attorney. It's probably something that we're going to have to take into executive session at our next meeting to make sure that the hiring of the police officers, or the not hiring, whatever happens, is done correctly. However, there are 2 individuals on this list that we can take action on now. Deborah Whitney, full-time records clerk. That position does not, I don't think, require any post-certification. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And Martez Robinson, who is a part-time police officer, who is post-certified. So we can take action on the hiring of those 2 individuals today. The other individuals will be continued, and we will go into executive session. Yes, sir.
Mr. Robinson will be moved to a full-time officer, and far as Mr. Thomas and Mr. Moore, they are already post-certified officers. They just have to be recertified. They've already completed the basic police training
Right,
to be
and
certified.
so when I read the email, there's an issue about time period. And so we just wanna make sure that when we hire, that we checked everything. And attorney, I'll let you chime in at this point.
Which officers are we speaking of?
Mr. Thomas and Mr. Moore are already post-certified officers, being that they've been gone. They now have a year to be recertified, but they are part-time workers, so they have an extended time to get their certification done. They will not have to take the full basic police training because they're already post-certified.
So according to, Mr. Manu, in speaking with him, the issue that they have, and I did want to clarify too, because I know that I had some of the agreements, I didn't get to get back to the store, but I got this today. So I just want to state that, because I don't think anybody to think that I'm ignoring them. We literally got the email today, I forwarded to the council and it shows the post out. So I just wanted to clarify that, because that's important to me, and somebody to get back to you. We found this out today, but going back to you, with Mr. Moore and, is it Mr. Thomas, Tory Thomas?
Yes, ma'am.
The issue that they're running to there.
Can we discuss that in public like
Yeah.
that?
It's on the agenda. But that's why I said, I think for the two that we can hire, we can go ahead and take action. But I think the rest of this, because we're gonna be talking about their certifications and all of that, that probably should be done in executive session, just so we don't, you know, cross any lines or anything. So, at this time, is there a motion to, are there any comments from the,
Isn't certification public information? Certifications are public information, correct? So even if y'all discuss it in private, we can go seek the information, just like water license certification, anybody else. So discuss it in
I'm just trying to
private.
make sure, I'm trying to make sure, I just wanna make sure.
right,
I wanna make
so,
sure.
yeah, we're gonna be talking about their their records and all of that, so we just wanna make sure that we're doing it correctly.
Okay, but my question is also,
You can't discuss nothing in a personnel file in the public.
Technically,
You
what I was gonna say, we probably could, but I was just trying to,
Okay, so make sure, but whatever
I'm just
you
gonna
say
make-
legally, go right ahead.
yeah, and I wasn't gonna specify specific to the officer, but, like I said, cause this came from Post. But generally, there are additional things that we looked at with the updates in the law as far as refresher courses that can be taken place. So I will say that. So it goes beyond just the 3 year, the 1 year, this person, sometimes when there are gaps in time or during the time, there are different laws now that speak to refresher courses when there's been a certain period. So I'll just say that.
So is it okay for us to move forward with the hiring as long as they take the refresher courses?
Right, but what we need to figure out is, do I need additional time? I need to know if that qualification for refresher needs to be done prior to the hire.
No.
I mean, I don't have that, you may be right, I'm not fighting with y'all. It's just,
Oh, no,
that's
we're not
my
fighting.
opinion, I wanna know specifically, because this is what I have, and they didn't specify it today. I sure can have that soon, but I'm just not gonna stamp that until I know it.
yeah, do due diligence.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I think at this time, we definitely can take action on Deborah Woodward and Martez Robinson. There are no questions about those hirings, and we can,
I had a question, maybe you, y'all with special forces, I think I'm supposed to hold every time, they need to know every course they had. But I had a question about these hirees and rehirees, the age group that they are in. Are they at a sufficient age to be hired?
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
are they over the age of hiring? for those positions?
I believe everyone on here is at an age where they can be rehired.
Not the rehired, hired.
Yes, ma'am.
Approval of hiring the police department person. I don't have on my glasses. I was just wondering, some of those ages are over the limit for hiring those positions.
There's no such thing.
Oh, well, you may have to look it up. There may be an age requirement for certain positions on different jobs.
Right.
So it needs to be looked up.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just wondering, has it been looked up? I don't say it needs to be done. It's supposed to be, if there's an age requirement, it needs to be known. The senior citizen can't be hired. depends on how old they are.
Yes, ma'am.
And their qualifications, they can be hired, and I know that some of these are senior citizens, they're not just coming to being senior citizens.
Yes,
Just
ma'am.
as senior citizens.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so, attorney, can we take action on these two? Are we tabling the other for you to get whatever other information that you need?
Yes.
Okay, so at this time, for item number 21, approval of hiring of police department personnel, we are only taking hiring action, or the council is only taking action as it relates to Deborah Whitney as the full-time records clerk and Martez Robinson as a full-time police officer.
So move that those two be hired.
Okay, we have a proper motion. Is there a second? Second. We have a proper second by Ms. Jackson.
So my only concern, let's say we hire them, and they say that they, the refresher course can be done after they've been hired.
Well, we're not hiring any of the people in question right now. We're only hiring those people. I don't think we know the answer to the question.
So it's to Mr.
Go ahead.
I was just saying it's to Ms. Whitney, obviously can't because there's no requirement with your post. But Mr. Robinson was, post certified, he could. The others, there are some questions that we just need clarification on. And again, you may or may not, but I just had not asked a specific question and I don't have that answer. We just got this today.
So let's just, first we have a motion and a second, just to deal with the two individuals that we know that there are no questions to. So we've had a proper motion and second for the hiring of Deborah Whitney and Martez Robinson. Joe, can we have a roll call vote on that, please?
Felton,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Jackson, Wells.
Yes.
Okay, so those two individuals are hired. Now, we still have some other individuals, and it looks like we have some comments. Yes, sir. I'm gonna ask you to just stand up. I know your knees hurt there, so you don't have to come forward.
I heard what you said about the post certification and the refresher. I'm post certified. If you got a break in service, that means you can come back, take your refresher. It's just like with any other certification. You can take your refresher after you've been hired because you have a year. That's what the statute said. So what we finna do is we finna disenfranchise the whole police department. Is actually what we're doing. Because what happens is once you make an action on those two, you gotta make an action on the whole police department if they're not certified. So what happens is if you make an action on two people, that means you got to go in and look at the whole department who's not certified, who's been there in the previous term, which happens is when you got a new elected chief. It's up to the new elected chief to pick his own department. So what happens is once you go in and start disenfranchising people, you set the whole town up for not being protected because you want to go in and look at everybody then.
So the email that the attorney gave us does have information, I believe, on all of the police officers, right? So that is something that they will be looking at. So I think the hiring of these two individuals, allowing the attorney the opportunity to continue to work with the chief to see where we are with these hirings, the rest of the hirings.
Since it's on the agenda, then we just need to take it.
Table the whole thing?
Maybe I misunderstood.
Well, we hired those two, that's what I was getting ready to say. Now we're talking about these additional people.
Well, can we approve the hiring pending further communication? Because if we continue not to hire these officers, we placing ourselves in jeopardy. So we can hire the guys pending further information, because let's go with the hiring pending further information.
Okay?
Because what's going to happen?
Wait, hang on just a second, Ms. Fountain. And then I'll go to Mr. Moore.
Yes, maybe she would like to be hired, pending, like a phone call clarification, it's 2 days, then be done next week. If not, we just have to wait for at least If that makes sense, we do have to change, right?
Okay, so
We
we,
have to change our, I
So-
know we have to, vote.
okay, so we have a motion to hire pending
Pending
the
further.
attorney looking into the matter to ensure.
And I'm gonna call first thing.
Okay, we do have a comment. Is there a second first to the motion?
Second.
Okay, so we have a proper motion and second. Mr. Darby, sir?
Yes.
We talking about hiring, but, and I know it's not supposed to be on public record, but we talking about hiring somebody, but salary isn't discussed. Who determines what the salary is gonna be? We talking about this person's hiring, but what salary, what range, who determines that?
So the police chief,
So he arbitrarily has the authority to set salaries.
for his department, yes, he does.
But it has to be done within the amount that's allotted in his budget.
But is there a range set, or he just arbitrarily,
They have autonomy to set that range, that's his fault, because he's elected.
Okay, so we have a proper motion to table. Okay, so we have a proper motion to table the additional individuals listed on the agenda. Is, Gerald, give us a roll call vote, please.
Motion to hire.
Oh, to hire, I'm sorry. Motion to hire, pending the attorney looking into everything. We have a proper second on that. My apologies, y'all. Now roll call vote, please.
Fountain,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Watson. Yes. Jackson. Wells.
Yes.
Okay, all right, and attorney has said that she will be looking into that first thing in the morning, so we'll, hopefully get a speedy answer on that to make sure we're good there. Okay, next item on the agenda is review of financials for general fund through June 2020. The council has been given financials for May and for June. June is typically year end, so the June financials do not have all of the information. We simply do not have it all now, and there's still things that come in. So, do you guys want to go over both sets of financials? How would you like to handle that?
Well, actually the May set is much more complete. It's more of a good representation. The June does not have everything in it yet.
Okay, so my question to the council is, do you want to go over both sets, or how would y'all like to?
It's kind of hard to look at something that's not complete.
Okay, so we can look at this. All right, so, Gerald, could you take us through May, please?
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, did I interrupt you? I'm so sorry.
Well, May, this whole year has been unusual. And an example would be that year to date, for example, for May, they had a budget of $3,687,000. As of May ending, the budget was $3,413,000 with an actual of $3,348,000. So in other words, there was $16,000 less in revenues than what we needed at that point. But you know, for a whole year, for practically a whole year, that's pretty amazing. And we have another month to go, and we think that that month is going to add to what we need to put everything in a much better position financially. Are there any questions? Your financials, your revenues are on your first page there. And if there are any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them. For revenues, May ending. If not, we can go ahead and take it by department. Give the results by department. Starting with police department. For the month of May, they had a budget of $86,000 and they spent $81,000 for a total of $5,000 to the good. Year to date, police department, has a budget of $1,096,000, and they have, as of May ending, spent $1,027,000. So in other words, they have come under their expenses by $68,000, which is, for the police department, is totally exceptional. Their expenses have been well under control. They've had management that really looked over their shoulder, and we all tried to help and put in an extra effort to help these departments and the managers do what it takes to have success. The police department, now let's go to the fire department. The fire department had a year-to-date budget of $526,000, and they have spent, as of May 31st, $501,000. So they're $24,000 under in their expenses, which again is excellent. Street department is usually a problem because they always have tons of repair expense, but this year has been different. They've had a lot less. They've had under budget just about all the way down from salaries all the way down to various other expenses. They had a budget of $758,000, and they spent $739 thus far, which puts them $18,000 under in their expenses, which is again another department that had an excellent record. The mayor's office is a little more involved. It's got a lot of expenses in it that we can't attribute to any particular department, so we just put it all, it's mostly administrative anyway, so we put it all obviously in the mayor's office, which is administration. And that budget for the year was $982,000. The budget year to date was $912,000, and they spent $947,000. So that was the only one that had a deficit of $35,000. Are there any questions? If not, what next, Mayor?
We can go on to utilities, Section 8 street fund. Oh, I'm sorry. Were there some questions?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
You
wanna
say
come forward, sir?
the mayor's office, what deficit?
Mr. Wilson, I'm gonna ask you to stand, sir, everyone else has. You don't have to
Okay,
come
the
forward.
mayor
Just
had,
stand.
the mayor's office
Gerald,
has a
hold on
budget.
just one second. Mr. Wilson, you've been recognized to stand, sir, please.
I'll ask my question.
Okay, thank you, sir. All
Okay,
right, let's go on with utility.
okay. The mayor's office for the year has a budget of $912,000. Year to date, which is May 30th, that's how far this goes, $947,000. And they are over $35,000. Which, you know, is not great, but it's not the worst thing in the world, because that's as of May, and whenever you make budgets, you have to have a crystal ball sometimes. You can't always see what's gonna happen, and for this, for the town to have remained within budget, for practically the whole year now, we're a little bit under. In fact, if you put all of your expenses and revenues together and see what you have, it's gonna be interesting. That's usually, I'm going to the floor here. In other words, so far, the city has a surplus of $2,700. That's unusual. It's better than not have, in other words, we're operating break even.
Okay, do we have, yes, sir.
Just a point, Sir, I'm sorry to challenge your numbers, but $2,000 in the good on a year to date when we're only counting 11 months and we have a whole nother month to account for it does not sound very good, because I'm pretty sure by the time the 12th month is over, we're going to be over budget. Or does that not make sense to anybody?
I'm not sure.
Just a thought.
Anybody else have any comments?
I
Yes,
do. Numbers from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. Flipping back and forth. Have y'all ran or have y'all started separate applications? Because if I tell you I did your hair, you didn't like it, will you pay me? If I tell you I work on your car and don't run, will you continue to pay me? When is this gonna stop? And it have gotten old. Just question.
Well, I will tell you, as it relates to budget, I'm kind of excited. We've got 2 good people now. I've asked for a fiscal committee to be put together. We've got some folks that have some backgrounds in money management and such. So I think going forward, especially with the policies, the ordinances, and everything that have been put into place, I think as we go forward, the community is going to have a different outlook on the city.
So we gonna keep the same clerk in place, or did we take applications?
So that's actually coming up. All right, anybody else? Okay. The next item on the agenda is setting budget committee dates and setting a date for the introduction of the budget ordinance. As you all know, the budget was not done on time, so we are needing to get that done so that we know how we're going to be moving forward. Mr. Morris and Mr. Wells are on the budget committee, so I know you guys both work, and we've had some difficulties setting some time, so wanted to see if you guys had some time where we could go ahead and do that now.
We'll definitely have a date for you tomorrow. We'll have a date tomorrow.
Okay, all right. Okay, we're down to district reports. District 1.
I have no report.
District 2.
Yes, on the opportunities, I didn't see it on the agenda, so we need that to be added. We have to take some action on the resolution and support for opportunity zones, so I can talk about it now, but it still need to be added to the, agenda. So, just a summary was, we're talking about the federal opportunity zones, something that the president, established the other year. And it's told as far as rural parishes, communities across the country. And you get a designation, they have to come from the governor to DC. And in Louisiana, all the parishes are supposed to put together a package. And so we, as in Madison, did not. The deadline came upon us last week. So I reached out to someone down in Baton Rouge, and the guy reached back out and said he would take our package and we get the support that I told him that we have amongst the police jury, the port, and the economic development district along with the city of Tallulah. So we all need a resolution. So all the other 3 entities have done it, so we need to do ours. And I'll let the mayor read the resolution so you all can be aware exactly what it's saying. And it's just like we can reward some wealthy companies or whatever to have a tax break that blow your mind for to come invest their money to those tracks, into those tracks. So you're on the outside. We missed the deadline because we started working on it in May of last year. And so there's nothing we can do about speed or limit, but I advocated to those down there, they're gonna accept our package, although it is behind after the border closed. So that's the goal, is to get the order, the resolution passed of support, to work with the other 3 agencies, and hopefully we can be awarded one of those designations, or 2 or even 3, because they're gonna get 2, but we're asking for 3 based on our situation and numbers and data. But, that's what it's all about. And so, we just coming on board and just didn't want to just fail not to do anything. And so, even if it don't work out, we're going forward. Anything that comes available, Madison, Tallulah, is gonna be applying, we're gonna be on top of it, so.
Well, to say that this is something that communities all across the country are fighting for. And, it can only bless this town. So, it's something that, we need to go tooth and nail for, to try to get, and being, don't wanna say last minute with it, but we are. This is something that we do not need to waste time and neglect. Because, this can be, a big shot in the arm for, and this is not, as Mr. Morris said, this is not just the city of Tallulah, it's Madison Parish. It's the entire parish, and all of the boards and what have you for the parish. I think, as he said, we're the last piece to it because everybody else has agreed to be on board with it. So, hopefully, there will be no opposition to moving forward to it because, this can only help us.
So just to add a little bit more information, I did attend a meeting today. There's an organization called Grow NELA, N-E-L-A. They're sort of a regional arm for Louisiana economic development in our area. They submitted some census tracts for the first round, the first deadline. One of the tracts that they submitted for Madison Parish, actually the only tract that I think they submitted for Madison Parish, was tract 9602. And that is the tract that encompasses the Industrial Parkway, the 250 acres of land that we had. The discussion that we had today, and we are going to be asking, well, I should say the jury, the court, and everyone asked if we can change that. Because tract 9601, and Mr. Morris, you tell me if the conversation kind of jives with what you were saying. 9601 makes a little bit more sense. It's out towards the port, and I hate that it's outside of the city. Okay, I don't want anybody to think that I'm trying to give that up. But if you look at what's already out there, what's already going, the money that's already been spent out there, there was a consensus this morning that that tract may be a bit more attractive. So Mr. Morris actually has 9601, 9602, 3, 4, right, all of them.
They rated in order.
Right, he's rated them in order. So, you said we want to try and see if we can do 3, correct?
Yeah.
Right, so in your ranking is 9601, 9602, 9603, or is that just? Okay, so 1, 2, and 5.
You just read the resolution, the whole clue of what's being said, and then the letter of support to the governor was being said.
Okay, so a resolution supporting the nomination of eligible Madison Parish census tracts as qualified opportunity zones for the 2027 through 2036 designation period. Whereas the Federal Qualified Opportunity Zone Program provides a mechanism to encourage long-term private investment in eligible communities through qualifying investments in designated census tracts. Whereas census tracts 9601, 9602, 3, 4, and 5 in Madison Parish have been identified as eligible for consideration during the current opportunity nomination cycle. And the resolution goes on, but I think we all get the gist of.
No, it's important to read the resolution that we're going to take.
Okay, I thought you said you wanted me to read 1 and 2.
Read
the whole thing?
Yes.
Okay, all right. The city of Tallulah whereas the city of Tallulah serves as the principal population, commercial, governmental, and workforce center of Madison Parish, and has an interest in attracting additional investment in housing, commercial development, redevelopment, infrastructure, small business, and community serving uses. Whereas the city of Tallulah is advancing redevelopment efforts to support evaluation and planning necessary to return vacant, underutilized, or environmentally uncertain properties to productive use. And whereas Madison Parish requests nomination of all 5 eligible census tracts, and if statewide nomination limitations prevent designation of all 5, identifies census tracts 9601, which is out towards the port on the right side of the road, 9602, which is out near the industrial parkway, that area that we have, and 9605, where's that area?
That's the
Downtown area, right. In that order, as the parish's first, second, and third priorities. Now therefore be it resolved that the city of Tallulah formally supports and requests the nomination of census tracts 9601, 2, 3, 9604, and 9605 as qualified opportunity zones for the designation period beginning January 1, 2027. Be it further resolved that if the state of Louisiana is unable to nominate all 5 eligible Madison Parish census tracts, this body supports priority consideration of census tracts 9601, 9602, and 9605 in that order. Be it further resolved that this body supports continued coordination with the other participating Madison Parish public entities, the Office of the Governor, Louisiana Economic Development, and appropriate public and private partners to advance investment and development opportunities associated with the requested designations. Be it further resolved that the mayor or the mayor's designee is authorized to transmit this resolution and related supporting materials in support of Madison Parish's Opportunity Zone nomination request. So that is the entire resolution. There are resolutions in this package for each of the bodies which within the parish. Mr. Morris, read the letter. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, and this is his proposed letter to the governor, to the Honorable Jeff Landry, Governor of Louisiana, Office of the Governor, regarding Madison Parish 2027 Qualified Opportunity Zone nomination request. Governor Landry, on behalf of the Madison Parish Police Jury, City of Tallulah, Madison Parish Economic and Industrial Development District, and Madison Parish Port Commission, we respectfully submit the enclosed Madison Parish 2027 Qualified Opportunity Zone nomination request for consideration by the state of Louisiana. Madison Parish requests nomination of all 5 federally eligible census tracts, 9601, 9602, 9603, 9604, and 9605. If statewide nomination limitations prevent designation of all 5, the parish respectfully identifies census tracts 9601, 9602, and 9605 in that order as its highest priorities. The enclosed package outlines the basis for this request, including Madison Parish's port and industrial assets, Tallulah redevelopment opportunities, agricultural economy, transportation infrastructure, and coordinated local capacity to support future investment. Together, these assets provide a practical foundation for long-term private investment and economic development across the parish. The 4 participating public entities are united in this request and are prepared to work with the governor's office and Louisiana Economic Development to provide any additional information that may assist the state in its consideration. We respectfully request favorable consideration of Madison Parish's nominations and appreciate the opportunity to participate in Louisiana's 2027 Qualified Opportunity Zone designation process. And there are signature areas for the police jury, for the city of Tallulah, for the Madison Parish Economic and Industrial Development District, and for the Port Commission. Do you think we have, I think we could add this to the agenda to go ahead and approve this resolution if you guys are okay with that.
So move that we add this item to the agenda.
Wait, hold
I'm
on.
gonna have discussions.
Yeah, don't worry. I don't know, I say we can add it, it's kind of late in the,
You have to do it at the
Yeah.
beginning of the agenda.
Couple different things. We could call a special meeting to do this, or wait until the next one.
He wants it tomorrow, so, I mean, whichever we have or we don't, so, I mean, just.
Yes, sir.
Madam Mayor, I think, a lot of,
I didn't.
Yeah, we the only one, everybody else jumped and did it, like I say, the deadline,
I'm sorry.
after being late is tomorrow, so.
Okay. I'm sorry, Mr.
yeah, I
President.
don't think, a lot of the public understand what opportunity zone mean, Councilman Morris. If you could explain how this will benefit those particular tracks, I think that'll give them a much better understanding. I know what it means, but a lot of the public may not know what it means, so, and for the viewing public as well.
Absolutely. Mr. Morris, you want
Well, actually, like I say, it's a thing from President Trump. And it was done in, last year, was the first round. And so they came back again with round 2.0. And like I say, it's designed, in my personal opinion, you know, as far as with the administration we have, number one priority to help the wealthy get wealthy. Because by them coming investing money in those tracks, those areas, they gonna get an awesome, you know, break. But at the same token, those areas gonna benefit just by them coming, spending those money, you know, in there. So, that's just how the, like we say, the game goes, that's just how it goes. So we as Madison, anything that we can get, any use of any of those areas, is very, you know, critical for our growth. And you can go out there to, put it at OZ, Opportunity Zone, it tells you everything, you know, so. I mean, it's worth going, Googling and looking and reading. But the matters at hand, we're on the outside looking in. When I talked to that guy on Monday, he said, I want it Friday. So whatever we need to do, or we just say, hey, we just catch it next time.
So the opportunity zone, what happens is businesses can come in and invest in those particular areas, and they receive tax incentives for their investments. They typically have to keep their investment there for a certain amount of time. Now, East Carroll Parish had an opportunity zone here in the last 10 years that extended all the way down to the Madison Parish line, and nothing ever got done. I'm not sure why, but this is a opportunity for us, for developers, and for those individuals who have that kind of money as they look around the company. In Northeast Louisiana is the spot, it's growing right now. So whatever we can do to make sure that we're at least looked at, I think it's an opportunity for us. Yes, sir.
But that also means an investor that comes in can also build a data center also, right? It could be something along those lines that could take from the community and leave the community worse off than it was. Is that possible?
There's always that possibility.
Okay.
Always that possibility. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Morris, what's the time frame that we have in the paperwork in?
As I stated
Tomorrow,
earlier,
what time? What's the time?
for close the business, I mean,
Okay,
so.
if y'all are really serious, y'all interested, special meeting tomorrow, what time? Get it done,
And
sign?
we got the post, so we got, I don't
We
know how
don't have
it
enough
works.
time to post. I think what we can do is add this item to the agenda. We,
You gotta do it
we,
before.
I think we can add this to the agenda.
So I make a motion that we add the resolution supporting the opportunity zone to tonight's agenda.
Second.
We have a proper motion and second to add the resolution for the opportunity zone to this agenda. Joe, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Bell?
Yes.
Morris?
Yes,
Watson?
Yes.
Jackson?
Yes.
Wells?
Yes.
And now we need a motion to approve the resolution.
So second.
We have a proper motion by Ms. Jackson, second by Mr. Wells. To approve, Joe, can we have another roll call vote, please?
Fountain,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Watson,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Wells.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Watson, district
Yeah,
report.
one last.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
Oh, yeah. And, to the council, and also mainly to the public, I got on this ride for a reason, to really put forth effort to help our community. So, we got a lot of work to do, and we need everybody energy, everybody trust, you know. It's okay we bump heads about stuff, but the big picture, when I leave here in 4 years, I want us to be able to say that we have truly accomplished and moved the ball forward. And, in the next 2 weeks, it was just a simple text to, someone from UL Limbex. He's a part of, he's Dr., I forgot his name, Sutherland. And he's a part of a lot of projects stuff on the state. I sent him a text and asked, could I bring the mayor, someone from the jury, someone from the Economic Development District, someone from Richmond, someone from our players, come have a conversation. He wanted a minute later, no, I'll come to you all, just give me the date. So we have a round table discussion, the leaders, that's just how serious I'm about it. And then, so I said, hey, I reached out to Senator, said we'll come over tomorrow, the same thing, the identical same thing. She'll come to Tallulah to meet. So we working for you, whether you're on board or believe in them, but just be patient and watch. So, you know, it's about Tallulah, you know, I mean, it really is about Tallulah. And I feel as a whole, and even the other bodies, everybody want to see something better than what it's been, you know, so. But I don't want to talk about the past. It's about all the efforts going forward. And I'll ask those people that, you know, it's gonna be a small, just some of the fishes, but it's gonna grow to the public. But we trying to, it's important how you set the foundation. It's very, you know, we know all the issues we have. We know all the problems we have. We know all the things we don't have. But we're trying to work and put something together where you can identify where you want to go. And everybody play a part. Everybody got a vision. So start helping with what you want to see to Tallulah about. Everybody got something that you want to see. And we share those things. We build a plan. So I know what I want to see. That's me. But we got all other people should be vocal. And you never know how close a lot of us will be on some things. And then we'll be enlightened on by some other things. But we have to share and dream together. And so let's make this happen. Because in 4 years, we're going to be successful or we're going to be not. And I don't want us to be very successful, you know. So, I mean, I just want everybody to get excited until we give you a reason not to be excited.
So Dr. Sutherland is very familiar with Tallulah. He helped us a lot with our Brownfield grant, so he is well versed in Tallulah and has always been ready to help. District 3.
And just to piggyback off of that, we're just gonna have to come to a point where, as Mr. Morris said, and I know that this is the hope of everybody on this council, that we just forget about those things that are behind us, so that we can go forward. There have been a lot of mistakes made in the past, but we don't have to continue to dwell on those things. And somewhere down the line, we're just going to have to develop a sincere trust, bottom line, you know, and that's what it's going to take for us to go for. But as far as District 3, I'm grateful. I've asked for certain things to happen in my district as far as cleanings and what have you. And those things, some of those things have taken place, and I certainly do appreciate that. But one of the main focus that I get probably have most concerns of as of right now, and this is going to be an ongoing thing, you know, we're going to get around to every area of our district to, you know, to gather the needs and the concerns. But probably first and foremost is that area there on Levy Street. I call it the triangle there. For whatever reason, it has grown up, and citizens in that area, well, I've seen it myself, but they told me about it, it's holding water. Yeah. And so that's a drainage problem that we probably need to look at and take care of. And the grass needs mowing there. And also we need to dispose of that big tree that has fallen over. That's first and foremost. Yeah, and there are a lot of needs in our district, and we're not going to try to get all of our needs done at once, you know. But as going through, we're gonna take time to prioritize some things, but that's a big one there. That's for my district.
Yeah, and CJ is well aware that the water there is holding, holding back the cutting, and that tree is going to take probably, some cooperation between the jury and the city to get it out. Ms. Jackson, yes, sir.
On that property you talking about, you have concrete in the cover, by Darren Bates' house, so it's supposed to replace a couple years ago, but it's concrete completely through, because we tried to pull through it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's not draining.
Yeah, and it's just holding.
It's collapsed.
Ms. Jackson?
You got a comment?
Oh, I'm sorry, yes, ma'am.
I know, ma'am. What about in, District 3, 101 Chester Drive? That big tree is overgrown, it's right across from my property.
Yeah, that's what I say, it's a lot more, and, we just had not, we just can't get them all done now, but, we take a look at everything in that district, even on, down there, down the street, there on Tank Street, it's a problem. 2 properties with, grown up, and those grasses and weeds and what have you are on the neighbors, so, like I said, Mr. Oney has helped us out real well as far as starting the process, so we'll eventually get to it.
Ms. Jackson?
Can you also add to your list right there at the stop sign of Levy and, Lexington, where you got to go so far out to see, and the trees are hanging
Oh,
up.
thank you for that,
'Cause
yeah, that's why I'm
a
gonna
bad
bring
spot.
that up tonight too.
Not only for driver, but for bus drivers.
Down Lexington Street, down Lexington Street, trees, have overhung over
That's
the
very
roadways.
dangerous.
Yeah.
It may, we'll go ahead, and I know you two are next,
I have,
as well as, just one moment, ma'am, let's put it in writing, that way CJ can have something to,
Right.
'cause nobody has to,
And I think that was what we were talking about at one time, right, about us
Right.
doing paperwork on
Ms. Jackson? In the,
It's just, they did
The stitch was called from last night, I think it's already something in place. She's having problems with her neighbor with pain. She inhaling fumes.
yeah, we're very aware of that
Yeah,
situation.
so, I told her I would speak about it, and I had a couple of, these water. And they went from 37 to 281, and I have another one, they hope will be having to do $2,300. So, I think names and those two, so.
Yeah,
Just write their numbers down, so
Yeah.
please, look into their film. And another thing, just the grass and so it's just, it kinda like, we look like Jumanji, so.
Yeah, we'll definitely look into the water bills, yeah, we definitely look. Folks, make sure that you guys, don't just wait until the council meeting, if you have some issues, make sure you're reaching out to your council members before so that they know. You don't have to wait until tonight, that, I think they're all open to listening to all of you guys all of the time, so.
And I have one of my council members here also, the state. You wanna, or you
I think she
want
wanted
me
to
to
say
do?
something.
What I'll do.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's great.
I'll-
Mr. Wells, sir?
Well, my concern is, when the guy's cutting grass, it looks worse than the
Right, we're not picking up, yeah.
So, are we gonna ever pick up the paper?
Right.
They cut, and you have paper all over.
That is a pet peeve.
That's bad. I hate to see paper spilled out like that. We need to, when they cut the grass, pick paper before they cut it. It looks a mess when they finish. I was gonna mention about the tree cutting, the branches that's lit, I know on, Van Zelden Street, I got a lot of overgrown trees that are covering power lines. That in case we have an ice storm or something again, there's trees on the wind and fall and break those wires.
And on that, we need to let Entergy know, because they're supposed to come and cut those, to make sure that it's being done safely and
That's the
everything.
same thing on Lexington Street.
And then also, we may need to start thinking as a council. So we do have court tomorrow. If the fiscal administrator is denied by the courts, we're gonna have to schedule a meeting to take action. And we're not discussing that. So we're gonna have to come up with a contingency plan in case it gets denied again. What's our next step? That's what I think about that very quickly.
We've gone through our district reports. Do we have any public? Okay, let me let, yes, sir.
Mayor, in District 1 also, you have a lot of lots that needs to be cleaned off. You have some roads that need to be patched. And you have some, you really, with the lots, there's a lot of lots that's on there that need to be cleaned up. You got some grass that's growing in the roads. And with the streets, I can give you a list of streets that need to be patched, have a patching type of thing going on. And there's also a couple of streets that need some new signs, stop signs, different things like that.
Yeah, you could provide that information to your council person?
Most definitely, yeah.
We definitely can. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Across the street from me at my little regular apartment, that somebody's gonna be redoing evangelist. A lot of snakes are coming across the street, there are a lot of snakes behind the street. I called police several times, and there have been snakes in my apartment, and they've seen them, and they haven't been able to move because they've gone under the stove. And I don't know where the other one, they took one from behind the, hot water heater. And, they've been in inside of my apartment. And it's not funny because they can poison anybody outside of my apartment, walking up and down the road or driving in their vehicle. And they've come and have not removed any of them. The one police officer, I think he was here a minute ago, pushed that pink snake, straight on. Excuse me.
Let's go ahead and
I can't hardly hear myself talk.
It's okay, ma'am, come on.
Okay, well, all those snakes, nobody has come and removed any of them. So if any of you are snake lovers and want to get paid to catch snakes, you probably can get paid to come and catch snakes in my apartment because there's one in my wall. And I called police 2 nights ago about it, and they came, one under my sofa, they came and they didn't get it out. As soon as the police leave, they come back.
Okay, so you and I, we'll talk about that. We're gonna go ahead and finish this out here. Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Frank, yes, sir.
You remember I told you I'm gonna keep talking about this until something come up. Can you give us any kind of update on what's happening on the Jones Street project that we were talking about?
The sewer issue over there, we need an engineer. We're gonna need an engineer, we're gonna need an engineering report for that. And there are grants out there, but when you put in for stuff for sewer and everything, typically every grant that you put in for requires what's called a preliminary engineering report. That's gotta be done by an engineer. We don't have an engineer right now. So we gotta go step by step by step. There's a big grant coming up right now. It's due, I think, August 31st. It's through DRA, the SIP grant. So it's a pretty good amount of money, but it requires, especially for that, a preliminary engineering report. So once we get an engineer, we'll be able to look at these things.
I'll reach out to someone with that problem. Please jury Sanders and find out the name of the engineering firm. Please jury those people like they're pretty good. So I'll reach out to them to see the name of the engineering firm.
I just wanted to speak to the council, just if there's any concern for public safety, reach out to myself or Chief Rhodes. We're willing to work with y'all to make sure that we're doing our due diligence in the community. So that's just it.
May I make a comment? Sister Chief, you talk. I want to compliment you guys for the little time that you've been here. We can see some police cars riding down on the fairground now that we couldn't see in the fairground. And I appreciate that. I'm not a carpenter where I can build something and present it to you up here, but I tell you to your face, we appreciate y'all doing it.
All right, you guys, we have had a long meeting here. Mr. Wilson, we're gonna let you be the last comment here.
I want to chime back with Mr. Williams. I was at one of the convenience stores here, and I try to pay attention to everything, and I noticed how professional the department was. And I'm not just saying this because of new administration. And I called the chief personally and thanked him for the professionalism. I can tell that the training is being done. There was no officer being loud, or they handled aggressive. They were really handling the situation at hand. And it was such a refreshing, it's such refreshing to see that our police department is on the right track to serve the public.
Okay, all right, at this time, I'm going to go ahead and close off the public comments. We still have one item that we need to take care of. The attorney is going to go ahead and leave at this time. We appreciate you, ma'am. We're gonna go ahead and hopefully set compensation for her. And then we are going to allow everybody to go home and enjoy the rest of their evening, okay? This really, y'all, this has been a very, very, very productive meeting, a very productive meeting. And I am with you, I am with you. Okay, so the attorney, has provided, to the council her, hourly rate. It's $250. That is the compensation that she was, originally hired at when she was hired back in January of this year. It is, at the first meeting in July, she typically is, appointed again. Compensation is set, needs to be set, by ordinance. Her rate is $250 an hour. I will tell y'all, a couple different things. She does not charge us for phone calls, she does not charge for emails, and she does not charge both ways coming here. So I think that, she has shown that she is a team player. She is not willing to negotiate the $250 an hour that is her set fee. So we just need to make a decision on what we would like to do. And the agenda that we have calls for the introduction of an ordinance fixing the compensation of the city attorney of the city of Tallulah, a Larson Act municipality.
I'd like to entertain a motion that we introduce this ordinance, fixing the city attorney's, salary at $250 per hour.
All right, we have a proper motion and second to introduce the ordinance for the city attorney and set the compensation in that ordinance at $250 an hour. Jerome, can we have a roll call vote, please? Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
You guys don't think it'd be best if we set like
Is there further?
a general salary? Like a salary amount?
Morris?
Wait, hang on just one second, Jerome. I'm sorry, we've got some
Do
discussion.
y'all think that we could set a salary amount, like 40, 50, something per year? That would include all of everything? What do y'all think about that?
Yeah, I was in favor of something like that, and I think we talked about that. It would be good. You still got to get our budget stuff straight, so I'm just saying if we go to that, the next year around, but it's a bunch of councilmen, I'm fine either way. But I think that's a good way, because like I said, I know that as we get more stuff, because I know we sent a lot of stuff to her, and she pretty quick getting back to us on those ordinance, so we want to take care of her, and we want.
And this is what she's asking for, right?
Right, and let's also remember that, while she is not an elected official, that salary can be changed, right? So if whatever you guys do tonight in the ordinance, if we find out later on down the road that there is a better way to go, or, a different way to go, that, another ordinance can be introduced.
So can we keep it what it is now, and then as we have our budget meeting, and we look at our financial picture, and, we can come back and set an amount or something?
What is it now?
$250.
Yeah, we can do it.
Okay, so are we tabling the introduction of this ordinance? Or are we going ahead and introducing the ordinance, setting the compensation at $250 an hour?
And if after a while, if it needs to be changed, we change it.
Okay, so, if I'm correct, we've had a proper motion and second to introduce the ordinance regarding the city attorney and setting the compensation at $250 an hour. And Jerome, now if we can do a roll call vote.
Fountain?
Yes.
Morris?
Yes.
Watson?
Yes?
Jackson?
Yes.
Wells?
Yes.
Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Yes, ma'am.
That's that active. All right.